ADC faction rejects Atiku's 2027 presidential bid, declares Chris Uba as party candidate. Fresh political controversy has emerged within the African Democratic Congress (ADC) after a faction of the party publicly rejected former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's reported 2027 presidential ambition on the party's platform. The group, led by Nafiu Gombe, insisted that the ADC has already completed its presidential nomination process and officially selected Professor Chris Uba as its candidate for the 2027 presidential election. In a statement released on Wednesday, the faction stressed that Atiku is neither the party's candidate nor a member authorized to speak for the ADC. According to the group, any attempt to present Atiku as the party's presidential flag bearer is false and should be ignored. The faction also dismissed the National Working Committee headed by former Senate President David Mark, describing it as an illegal and unconstitutional leadership with no authority to represent the party. According to Nafiu Gombe, the ADC remains an independent political party that has not entered into any coalition, merger, or political alliance with any other political organization ahead of the 2027 elections. He explained that although several political groups have reportedly approached the ADC to discuss possible alliances, the party's recognized leadership has rejected such proposals and remains committed to contesting the elections independently. The group maintained that all procedures required by the party's constitution and Nigeria's Electoral Act were followed before Professor Chris Uba emerged as the ADC's presidential candidate. He described Professor Uba as a capable and experienced leader who possesses the qualities needed to provide effective leadership for Nigeria during a challenging period in the country's history. The faction further issued a strong warning to Atiku Abubakar, urging him to immediately stop presenting himself as the ADC's presidential candidate. According to the statement, the ADC was established to offer Nigerians credible leadership and should not be turned into what he described as a platform for politicians seeking to revive their political ambitions through coalition arrangements. The group insisted that the party would use every legal and constitutional means available to protect its identity and prevent anyone from hijacking its structure for personal political interests. Responding to reports that there were plans to stop the ADC from participating in the 2027 general elections, the faction dismissed the claims and expressed confidence in the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and Nigeria's democratic institutions. The group said it remains fully prepared to participate in the 2027 elections by presenting candidates for the presidency, governorships, Senate, House of Representatives, state assemblies, and local government positions across the country. It also appealed to party members, supporters, security agencies, INEC officials, and the Nigerian public not to be misled by statements from individuals or groups it described as unauthorized factions. Political observers believe the latest disagreement highlights the growing leadership crisis within the ADC as opposition politicians continue discussions on forming a united front against the ruling party before the next general elections. The development comes amid increasing speculation that Atiku Abubakar, David Mark, and several other prominent opposition figures are working towards building a broad coalition that could challenge the current administration in 2027. With different groups now laying claim to the party's leadership and presidential ticket, analysts say the internal dispute may eventually require legal intervention or clarification from the electoral authorities before the campaign season begins. As political activities gather momentum ahead of the 2027 elections, Nigerians are expected to witness more negotiations, alliances, and internal party battles that could significantly shape the country's political landscape. The public disagreement within the ADC raises serious questions about who truly controls the party structure. If different factions continue making conflicting announcements, the uncertainty could confuse party members, supporters, and even potential candidates preparing for the 2027 elections. Another issue is the effect this dispute could have on the opposition coalition. Atiku Abubakar and several opposition leaders have been discussing the possibility of presenting a united front against the ruling party. However, internal leadership battles like this could weaken those efforts and make it more difficult for opposition to convince Nigerians that it is ready to govern. Political analysts also believe that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, may eventually have an important role in determining which faction is officially recognized if the crisis remains unresolved. Such decisions could significantly affect who is allowed to contest elections under the ADC platform. Beyond the legal questions, the crisis is also becoming a test of the party's internal democracy. Many Nigerians will be watching to see whether the disagreement is resolved through dialogue, party procedures, or the courts. The outcome could shape public confidence in the ADC ahead of the campaign season. For ordinary voters, the controversy serves as another reminder that political parties need strong internal structures before asking Nigerians to trust them with national leadership. As the 2027 elections draw closer, many citizens will likely focus not only on campaign promises but also on how political parties manage their own internal affairs. If the disagreement continues for several months, it could encourage some party members to defect to other political parties, while others may wait for a final court ruling or official clarification before declaring support for any presidential aspirant. This uncertainty could influence the strength of the ADC in the months leading to the general election.